Welcome to aminacademy.com. In mathematical economics, let us discuss about utility function. Utility function is a mathematical function which ranks alternatives according to their utility to an individual. The utility function measures welfare or satisfaction of a consumer as a function of consumption of real goods, such as food, clothing, and composite goods, rather than nominal goods measured in nominal terms. Thus, the utility function shows the relation between utility derived from the quantity of different commodity consumed. A utility function of a consumer consuming three different goods may be represented by u of function f of x1, x2, x3 like. That means utility function, for example, look here, utility function u equal function of f of x1, x2, x3 like. Now, for example, utility function u equal to x squared plus 15. Now, how to find from this function, how to find the marginal utility? Marginal utility, that is differentiate u with respect to x, that is du by dx, which is equal to x squared differentiation is 4x, 15 differentiation is 0. So, marginal utility is 4x. In mathematical economics, utility function is a mathematical representation of an individual's preferences for different goods and services. It assigns a numerical value, that is utility, to reach possible combination of good, that is a bundle, reflecting the level of satisfaction or preferences the individual derives from consuming that bundle. Essentially, it quantifies how much someone likes or desires different combination of things. Look at this example. Further detail. Preferences. Individuals have inherent preferences for different goods and services. For example, someone might prefer pizza to burgers or more pizza over less burger. Utility. The utility of a function translates these preferences into numerical scale. If an individual prefers bundle A to bundle B, the utility assigned to bundle A will be higher than the utility assigned to bundle B, and vice versa. Mathematical representation. Utility functions are typically expressed as equations. For example, u of x comma y, utility function in terms of x and y is equal x into y. That means u of, suppose this is for example, some function might represent utility derived from consuming x units of good 1 and y units of good 2. Purpose. Utility functions are used to model and predict consumer behavior. By understanding how individuals derive utility from different goods, economists can analyze how they make choices, how demand changes with prices, and how markets function. Some example. Common examples include Cobb-Douglas utility function, that is u of x comma y is equal x power a into y power b, and perfect complements. Example, u of x y equal to minimum of x comma y, and perfect substitutes. Example, u of x y equal to x plus y is a Cobb-Douglas utility function. Properties. Utility function often have properties like non-satiation, more is better, and convexity, preference for variety. Indifference curves. Indifference curves graphically represents combination of good that yield the same level of utility. Mathematical economics employs mathematical methods to model and analyze economic theories and problems. A key tool is the utility function, which represent a consumer's preferences for different bundles of goods and services. Solving optimization problem like utility maximization under a budget constraints is central to mathematical economics. This often involves setting the marginal rate of substitutions, that is MRS, equal to the price ratio and using the budget constraints to find a optimal consumption level. Now we can understand this concept if continues. Utility function represent the preferences often denoted by u of x comma y, where x and y are quantities of good. Marginal rate of substitution MRS, the rate at which the consumer is willing to trade one good for another, calculated as the ratio of marginal utilities, that is m of ux over m of uy. Budget constraints, the limitation on a consumption due to limited income, expressed as a linear equation involving prices and quantities of goods. Utility maximization, finding the combination of goods that provides the highest level of satisfaction, that is utility within the budget constraints. Optimization, what is that? Setting MRS equal to the price ratio and solving the resulting system of equations including the budget. Look at some example. Consider the utility function u of xy equal x power 1 by 3 into y power half with the budget constraints. Budget constraint is p of x into x, p of y into y, p of y into y equal to 1, where px, py are prices of goods x and y, and I is income, which is equal income. Now, how to find MUX? That is differential of u function with respect to x. That is differentiation of x power 1 by 3 is 1 by 3 x power 1 by 3 minus 1 minus 2 by 3 and y 1 by 2. That means this is a variable. Consider this a partial derivative. This is a variable. This is a treated as a constant. Similarly, m of uy. This is the same differentiation of this function with respect to y, treating x as a constant. That, look at here, 1 by 3 x minus 2 by 3 into half into 1 half minus 1 is minus half. This is a utility function. Set MRS equal to price ratio. That means MUX over MUY, this two function division is equal to PX, PY, price of X, price of Y. This is the equation. That is, we have to put the values M of UX and M of UY, which is equal to PX by PY. This gives this lengthy relation. Then after simplifying, it becomes 2y over 3x equal px by py. That means after substituting these values, we will get this one. Solve for y or x. The price given both, then we can solve x or y. For example, y equal 3 by 2, y equal to 3 by 2 into px by py into x. Even x also you can solve. Substitute into budget constraints. Substitute this expression for y into a budget equation and solve for x. solve for x and then y, use the value of x to find the corresponding value of y. This process allows economists to determine the optimal quantities of the good a consumer will choose to maximize their satisfaction given their preferences and budget. If you are actual problem given, we can solve using this procedure. We have done. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.